Hello everyone, welcome to this new video of microwave engineering. Today we are going to see the amplification process involved in the helix TWT. In the last video we have seen the structure and working of helix TWT. Now we will see in detail how exactly the amplification happens in case of helix TWT. So to understand the amplification process, we must recall the Brillouin diagram, that is omega beta diagram, which we have seen at the end of a last video, which is drawn for a helix including several special harmonics. What are these harmonics? Remember, we are applying a microwave input to a helical coil. So if we have a helical coil, we are applying a RF input, that is microwave input. So there are magnets above and below this helical coil, and electron beam going through the center of this helical coil. Okay. Now when waves enter the helical coil, because of presence of magnetic field and electron beam and velocity modulation induced because of these two presence, there is an accelerating field and decelerating field, that is electric field, present inside the or around the helical coil, and that creates a harmonics of input wave inside the helical coil. These are called as special harmonics. Okay, so presence of electric field which is producing a velocity modulation causes a harmonics, and diagram of these special harmonics with respect to angular velocity and their phase constant is shown as a omega beta diagram. So there are two key observations for this. First observation is the second quadrant of the omega beta diagram indicates a negative phase velocity which corresponds to the negative n. This is the second quadrant, indicates a negative phase velocity, that is here you will see corresponding to negative n means this is the first harmonic, this is second harmonic, this is third harmonic, this is negative first harmonic, negative second harmonic, negative third harmonic. Now what's the meaning of this? Now negative third harmonic or negative first harmonic means it is associated with the negative phase velocity. Some electrons will be accelerated, some electrons will be decelerated in the electron beam. Similarly, the wave which is now propagating through the helical coil, in TWT wave propagates through the helical coil. So similar to electron beam, wave inside a helical coil will also experience a negative phase velocity and positive phase velocity. That means velocity of this wave, phase velocity of this wave will increase or decrease. Okay, in some cases it will be decrease, in some cases it will increase. Okay, for negative harmonics it will decrease, for positive harmonics it will increase. That is what it is said. So negative phase velocity indicates negative special harmonics. That is the first observation. Another thing, this diagram might seem slightly different from the previous video diagram, but it is the same diagram repeated for different harmonics. So if we consider only one harmonic, that is only this part, then you will see the previous diagram that we have seen in the last video. So in this case you will see this is the phase velocity when phase velocity of a wave is equal to speed of light. Sorry. And when it is retarded or it is slowed down by the helical structure, we have seen helical structure is known as slow wave structure, so its phase velocity is slowed down. So when it is slowed down, it becomes, phase velocity becomes this one, so it is given by omega upon beta. Okay, this is for first harmonic. Similar case happens for the second harmonic, third harmonic, and so on. Okay, so this is the first observation, that negative phase velocity is for negative special harmonics. Okay, all these phase velocities are positive phase velocities. Okay, This means that electron beam moves in the positive direction while the beam velocity coincides with the negative special harmonics of the phase velocity. So what's the meaning of negative phase velocity in the negative special harmonics? Beam is moving into the positive z direction. That's why the beam velocity of this electron beam will coincide with the negative special harmonics phase velocity, that is negative phase velocity. So if this negative phase velocity is too large, negative phase velocity is too large than the beam velocity, then what will happen? This will overpower the beam velocity and electron beam will not reach the collector and it will come back, or microwave signal also in turn will come back. Electron beam may reach the collector, but microwave signal will not be able to reach the collector and or at the output end, and it will come back, and that is why it is called as backward wave oscillator. Okay, such type of tube is called as backward wave oscillator. Details of backward wave oscillator we will see in the upcoming videos. So when this happens, when negative phase velocity becomes too much greater, negative phase velocity of a microwave signal becomes too much greater than beam velocity. Beam velocity is not able to carry or current modulate the microwave signal enough that the signal does not reach the collector. Instead it comes back towards original location slightly, and because of this a feedback is given, and that is called as a backward wave, and that's thus this type of tube is called as a backward wave oscillator. How it is constructed, that we will see later on in the upcoming videos. The second observation about this diagram is that the shaded areas which are shown over there are forbidden regions for the propagation. So as you can see, these are the shaded areas. Why these are forbidden regions? Now any value in these shaded areas means that your phase velocity is greater than speed of light. Okay, if my velocity is in this region, then what does that means? It is greater than this value. Okay, that means what? It is greater than speed of light. So what does it mean? Why it is forbidden? This situation occurs because if the phase velocity of any special harmonic exceed the velocity of light, structure radiates energy. So if any waveform is traveling with the speed light higher than the velocity of a light, then structure will radiate energy, and this property has been verified by the experiment. So the slow wave structures of the helix are characterized by these brilliant diagram as shown in figure. So these two observations are important, which are the forbidden regions and what is the meaning of negative phase velocity. So why it is fundamental? Let's see how it causes amplification process. The phase shift per period of the fundamental wave on the structure is given by, that fundamental wave means no harmonics, the basic first or zeroth harmonic we can say fundamental wave. So what is the phase shift period? The theta 1, that is a phase shift, which is given by phase constant into the pitch. Okay, where beta 0 is a phase constant given by omega upon v0. V0 is a phase velocity for a fundamental wave, phase constant from the average beam velocity, and L is a period of a pitch. Okay, L is a period of a pitch. What is pitch? That is distance between two turns. Okay, so since the DC transit time of electron is given by this equation, T0 is equal to pitch upon phase velocity or beam velocity, whatever it is case. So DC transit time means the DC electric field which is applied to the anodes or helical structure or helix TWT. So it is also affecting the electron movement inside a beam. So that DC transit time is given by this equation. The phase constant, this is phase constant of a fundamental wave. Now the phase constant of a nth special harmonic is given by beta n, which is equal to omega upon nu 0 or nu 0. So what does that mean? Omega is now theta 1, that is fundamental phase shift, plus the nth harmonic, that is 2 pi multiplied by n. If you are talking about 10th harmonic, 10 into 2 pi divided by nu 0 is given, replaced by now nu 0 t0. Why? Now beta n is omega upon nu 0. What is nu 0? Nu 0 is a L upon t0. Okay, so that is replaced here over here. So you can use these equations of t0 and theta 1 here to obtain this equation for phase constant of a nth space harmonic. Okay, so for example, now beta n will be fundamental plus nth harmonic beta. So what is fundamental? Beta 0L plus nth harmonic beta is omega upon nu 0. Omega upon nu 0 will be substituted in this one. So this will become B0L plus 2 pi n, taking L common, B0 plus 2 pi n upon L, and B0 Bn upon theta 1 upon L will be equal to nu 0, sorry, beta n. So that is how it can be calculated. So this is obtained from a equation of nu 1, and this is obtained from a this equation and this equation. Okay, so let's move on. So in the above equation, axial spatial harmonic phase velocity assumed to be synchronized with the beam velocity for possible interaction. So what we are assuming, the phase velocity and beam velocity is coinciding or synchronized because we want them to interact so that amplification can be provided. So that's why phase velocity is coinciding with the beam velocity. When a signal voltage is coupled into the helix, that's what we are doing, microwave input is coupling into the helix, the axial electric field exerts a force. Why? Force is equal to minus E into E. Okay, that is charge on electron multiplied by the electric field. It will generate a force, and that force is exerted on electrons traveling through this particular helical structure, that is electron beam. The electrons entering the retarding field are decelerated, and those in the accelerating field are accelerated. So which one is a retarding field and which one is a accelerating field? So electric field, let's say like this one will be retarding field and this one will be accelerating field. The positive part will be retarding field and negative part will be accelerating field. Why positive part is the retarding field? Because electrons are a negative charge particle, positive part will oppose or attract them and retard the electric field or reduce the electric field, and negative part will enhance and it will increase the electric field. Okay, they begin forming bunch because of this acceleration and deceleration. Some electrons are accelerated, some electrons are decelerated, and that creates a bunch centered around those electrons that enter the helix during the zero field. Okay, so some electrons are not affected which are entering at the zero field, some electrons are accelerated and some electrons are decelerated. So they create a bunch around this center electron which is not accelerated or decelerated by any field. This process is shown in the following figure. We will see that. Since the DC velocity of electrons is slightly greater than axial wave velocity, more electrons are in retarding field than in the accelerating field. So actual construction, if you see, we will see that. See, there is a DC also applied. DC velocity, DC voltage is also applied. both are DC supply. The regulated beam supply and gain or modulation control voltage is also supplied. Now because of that, the electric field is not exactly at 0. It will be like this one. Okay, and because of that, this retarding field will be greater than the accelerating field, because retarding field amplification, let me draw a complete diagram. So it will not be like this one. This will not be the case for electric field. What will be the case? Electric field will be like this one. So more electrons will be in the accelerating field, retarding field, and lesser in the accelerating field. That is the reason, because signal is shifted by the DC voltage. Okay, so that's the meaning of this statement. DC velocity of electrons is slightly greater than the axial wave velocity. More electrons are in the retarding field than the accelerating field, and a great amount of energy is transferred from the beam to the electromagnetic field. Because of this bunching, velocity modulation happens and energy is translated or transferred from the beam to the electromagnetic field. Okay, that's similar to your klystrons. The microwave signal voltage is in turn amplified because of this energy transfer. uh, so you can see here interaction between electron beam and electric field. Here this is electron beam, this is retarding field as I said, and this is accelerating field. Okay, what is the retarding force and accelerating force? Accelerating force means towards the collector, and retarding force means towards the buncher cavity, in this case no cavity, towards the anode or cathode. Okay, so the bunch continues to become more compact because of this accelerating and decelerating field, and larger amplification of the signal voltage occurs at the end of a helix. Now how it creates a larger amplification? Every time this bunch is getting compact, more amount of energy is transferred from the electron beam towards the electromagnetic field, and more the amount of energy transferred, the larger the amplification of the signal voltage occurs. And this happens as bunching keeps getting compact as the wave propagates through the TWT. Okay, the magnet produces an axial magnetic field to prevent spreading of the electron beam. In the diagram we have seen there are two magnets over here. These are used for focusing the electric field or electron beam inside the tube, and because of that, uh, axial magnetic field prevents spreading of the electron beam. Okay, as it travels down the tube. Now we have seen attenuator also in the TWT, which is placed near the center of the helix. Why it is placed? Now we have seen what is the job of attenuator. The attenuator attenuates the signal if they are reflected. If velocity becomes larger than phase velocity of a waveform becomes larger than the beam velocity, too much larger, then the wave might come back. Okay, there is a small part of that will be satisfying this relation. Small part of input signal will satisfy this relation, so some backward wave will be experienced by the structure, and to block that, attenuators are present. Okay, entire signal will not be able to reach the collector because original signal, obviously it will be amplified, but some part will be backward, having a backward wave, and that should be blocked. Okay, it reduces all the waves traveling along the helix nearly to the zero, so that reflected waves, that is the backward waves from the mismatched loads, if load is mismatched, this may happen, and can be prevented from reaching the input and causing oscillations. Okay, so I said some part of the input wave will be reflected. That is because although loads are matched during the design, in practical cases they are slightly mismatched, and because of that there will be slight amount of reflection from the output side. Okay, so the bunched electrons emerging from the attenuator induce a new electric field with the same frequency. This field in turn induces a new amplified microwave signal on the helix. Okay, so that will be small amount. So that is about amplification process. regarding TWT, the key part is transfer of energy from an electron beam towards the accelerating field. That is the important thing, and that happens because of special harmonics of a traveling wave, microwave, which is exceeding uh, velocity of light, that should be forbidden, and which will be experiencing a retarding force and as well as accelerating force, and that is causing a varying electric field which will be able to help in the velocity modulation and in turn the amplification. So that's all about amplification process in TWT. In the next video we will start with the backward wave oscillator. That's all for today. Thank you.